welcome to Love Island The Morning After, the only official Love Island podcast. This morning we are joined by the wonderful Jackie Adedeji.
Hello,
and the glorious Chris Taylor.
I'm glorious. I feel glorious.
You got a describing word today.
Thank you. That was a good one. It's one of my favourite
good.
adjectives.
It was
glorious.
good. It was good.
Thank you.
How are we feeling this bright sunny morning, guys?
So excited.
Yeah.
So excited.
Ready to chat about last night? Okay, so let's kick it off. We saw in last night's episode that Joey finally apologised to Mimi.
Finally.
Yes.
No, it
What
was
took him so
beautiful.
long?
It was cute, and he got her some flowers, you know? And he said, you know what? I want to see you smile. I want to
Handpicked.
see you shine. And then she did also apologise for calling him the word that rhymes with
Stickhead.
yes.
Our Joey is such a charmer.
So charming.
Isn't he? It's the way the flowers were like hidden and then he was like, these are
Yeah.
for you. I just thought, I'm sorry, but that is just so
cute,
sweet.
innit? Do you know when like you're young and your teacher goes to you, like if your mate told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it? If Joey Essex asked me, I probably would. And I'd have no recourse to explain why I did it. I'd be like, he's a charming bloke.
He really is.
Charmed the pants off
Have
me.
you seen that meme? It's like, oh, if you man do it first, I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's kind of when you're at
Yeah.
school. I feel like anything your friends do, like you're just so locked in at school.
Yeah,
Like if my
yeah.
friends do something, I'm riding with you the whole way.
Me and my
Oh,
boys,
yeah.
we're all 30s now. We all still do it.
Yeah.
We make you do it, I'll do
Yeah,
it. But
it's
it's normally
fun.
me going, I'll do it, then you do it, yeah? Don't back out on me.
Yeah, don't back out.
It was cute.
But
It was a
yeah,
lovely
he's
gesture.
very charming. He's got a way with words. The way he kind of like approaches situations after he's done the naughty.
Yeah,
I can't look at him and hate him.
this
Like he
is it.
stands there, leans on the post, looks at Mimi and goes, do you hate me?
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
so
like,
good.
how can I hate you when you're doing that with the puppy dog eyes and the teeth and that?
You can just tell if he's your boyfriend, like you'll just be forgiving him over and
Murder.
over and
You're
over
getting away
again.
with it. He's getting
Well,
away with it.
speaking of forgiving, we've got Jessie, who actually admitted to saying, do you know what? She's a little bit terrified of what life will be like on the outside with Joey. Now, should she be apprehensive? We did see a few fellow Islanders saying, look, Jessie seems to always be defending him. And
I mean, based on what he's like in the villa, if that continues on the outside, yeah, she's got a lot of mopping up to do.
Yeah.
She may as well get a janitor's outfit and clock on every day. So get one of those big trolley things that they push around just to
Yeah.
clean up
Yeah.
the mess. But I don't know if he will be, because like, in all honesty, how often is he going to end up in these situations?
all the time.
Do you think?
Yeah, I feel like when you come out of the villa, like there's all kinds of distractions. It's going to be worse.
You know what? Yeah. I feel like for Jessie, what it's going to become like looking after Joey on the outside is like an extreme sport.
Yes.
I mean?
Yes.
Speaking of sports,
That segue was chef's kiss.
thank you. I was practicing it in the mirror earlier, actually. So we had the sports day. It was a lot of fun, actually.
It
Thoroughly enjoyed it. What were
Yeah.
your guys' thoughts on it?
It was quite chaotic.
It was, chaos.
It was very passionate. There was a lot of competitive behaviour.
Do you know what it is for me? Like, I look at it and I think, okay, like, are they just trying to squeeze any last bit of potential ick?
Now's the
There's a
time.
lot of icky things going on, right?
Yeah.
Swimming.
So, like, you're swimming, you rise from your glorious lap there and back.
Yeah.
Big bit of snot hanging out your
Oh,
nose. and around your
no.
ear. Ick. Your little feet in the pool.
No, I
going,
can't. No.
The sack
Sack.
race,
Yeah, no.
as they call it. You're walking like a penguin that's had its feet tied together. It's just generally quite icky.
It's quite
like,
an
on it at
Yeah.
this stage, just being like, do you know what? These guys have done really well, but like last few days, let's just try and ick them out.
But you know,
Yeah.
they're all like locked in.
See if
and
anyone
exclusive.
swaps. Bit of drama last minute.
I do think it's good to like see those icky bits. If you're going to be together forever, you need to see them now.
Yeah, and I do agree with that. And I also think when you fully love somebody, the icks become the things that you like the most about them. A lot of the times.
I'm not so sure.
No?
I just feel
Yeah.
like you learn to just sort of accept them and be like, you know what, you are who you are.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to judge you for it. Don't
But,
like
like-
it, but because it's you, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I like tend to have a full U-turn on them where I'm like, okay, like I actually really liked that about you before, because I used to hate it when people drop things. But then I had a girlfriend.
It's a bit hard.
who was
That's
very
kinda funny.
Well, no, you're sat there watching TV and all of a sudden they've smashed a plant pot. And then at first I'm like, oh my God, stop smashing all of my things. And then like a couple of months down the line, I'm like, oh,
Oh, look at
That's
it.
really
But what
cute.
if it's like someone running for like the bus?
I think if you truly love somebody, you will love the way they run for a bus.
But you know what? It's sad. Like, why are we as a society so shallow? Because it's transport, for crying out loud.
I
Like,
know.
you've got to get around.
You have to do it.
What if he was late for the most important day of his life, so he had to
Do you
run
know
for
what?
the bus?
Let's exacerbate this example, right? So you're happy with your man not running for the bus.
Yeah.
And then being late.
He's late for work. He gets fired.
Ooh.
Now your man's jobless.
No, but
right?
wake up earlier.
That's in a perfect world, Jackie. We don't live in a perfect world.
don't.
Sometimes we don't wake up at all. Sometimes we
No,
snooze.
but I would rather you be late and look fabulous
Facts.
than if you're
that's
actually
what I do.
sprinting, huffing and puffing. I can't with the breath. It's too breathy. I'm not into it.
Come
Sorry.
in, shirt unbuttoned.
He's not breathing on you or near you. Are you at a bus stop waiting? Like, why are you trying to get the ick off these boys? I don't get it.
Oh, hilarious. But you know what? One thing didn't ick a particular couple out.
What's that?
Mimi and
Oh,
Josh.
the
So
honeys.
Oh, that was really
we
cute.
saw
actually, yeah.
Mimi was literally struggling in the water. She
Bless
made it
her.
halfway and she just couldn't do it no longer.
Trying to protect the lashes, wasn't
Trying
it?
to protect. You know, I hear it.
I hear
you
it.
know, when you get a fresh set of individuals, they're
Yeah.
not to be played with.
Oh, yeah.
No, not
Damn
in that
right.
villa, because
No,
you ain't
no,
getting
no.
any more. You got to
But
stick them
then-
back in when you find them on the floor.
Josh came to rescue her like
Bless him.
big Superman, and it was just so cute. Like, he
Yeah.
just pulled her along, and she just.
That's what you call teamwork.
That is
Yeah,
too much.
He was
Yeah.
like, I see my damsel in distress.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and like a Hercules.
Oh,
Hercules.
You know what I mean? Like,
I seen your face light up when you said that.
he always like rescues her, and I just think it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
He's a knight in shining armour.
He is.
Yes.
It was just giving me Baywatch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, what, when you came to save her? Or when she
Yeah,
was
like
swimming?
I know it wasn't slow motion, but
Yeah.
I saw it in slow motion in my head, and I thought, David, is that you, Mr. Hasselhoff?
Yeah, it was definitely that energy.
Yeah. Loved every second of it.
That's
to be
No, it
honest.
was beautiful.
Every second.
Gonna watch it on replay later. Should we move on?
We should.
The season of love is nearing its end, and yet the Islanders are still pulling out these unreal pre-love fits from our headline sponsor, eBay. Circular fashion is most definitely having its moment this season. I've seen this Christian Dior shirt on multiple Islanders like Io, Joey and Josh, and I wish I could get my hands on it. The retro design is phenomenal, and it's one of those shirts you can count on for any event. You can dress it up or down, just like the boys have done. The girls have also been rocking some cute archive fits like Mimi, Grace and Jess S channeling tropical vibes in this beautiful rat and boa cord worn by Katie in Series 10. Meanwhile, Matilda and Nicole have added this stunning meshy dress to the pre-love roster. Seasons change, but pre-loved is clearly here to stay. Discover your next villa-worthy look on eBay. Fashion fit for a second chance. eBay, sponsors of Love Island.
Kieran
Yeah.
actually cheated a little bit, or did he cheat? We don't know. He set off the klaxon. They got VAR involved. It was all very official.
It was very official.
Yeah.
And it also caused a bit of a scenario, wasn't there, India?
There was a scenario, and it was all about Jesse's trash talk.
Yeah.
Now, Jesse's trash talk, it was a little, open to interpretation.
Yeah.
So let's just get into it.
Yeah.
Mind you, Joey started it, okay?
I mean,
Yes.
when does he not?
Yeah.
So Joey went ahead to say, try not to cheat to the other team. And then Nicole goes, I've never cheated in my life. And then Jessie drops the bomb. She says, but your boyfriend has. And everyone goes, ooh.
Is it meant that way, this way, or did she intend it on the double meaning vibe?
I mean, she said
Yeah.
that she
Either
did
way,
mean
very
it.
clever.
I've just felt like she just meant it as in like Kieran cheated.
Because he literally cheated.
Yeah, because he did. And
Yeah.
it was that. But I think our Nicole's just a bit sensitive,
Yeah,
you know? It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
that. Yeah.
But can we see how Nicole
100%.
could have taken that the wrong way? Because
Oh,
even
no,
me as
yeah,
a viewer,
100%.
I got that it was a joke and it was solely about the game
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he literally cheated about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
However, let us not forget, Kieran has been very open and honest about his, is it infidelity?
Yeah.
Yes,
Is that the word?
infidelities.
His
And she
infidelity?
finally trusts a rugby player.
I can understand why Nicole might have felt like, oh, are you trying to dig me out?
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get it. I
Yeah.
can also see it from Jesse's perspective because this is something that I like to refer to as foot in mouth disease. Not to be confused with foot and mouth disease.
No.
But this is basically when you put your foot in your mouth a lot without having the filter. So I have the filter issue.
Yeah.
So basically, I think she said it and gone, oh no.
The words
Put it back in my mouth quick. I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
But it's just come out so smoothly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But to be fair to her also, if she meant it like that, the speed of the wit has to be respected.
Yeah.
Because a double in that scenario at that speed.
And do you know what? It's a game. What is a game without a bit of trash talk?
Yeah, fight
Yeah,
talk.
exactly.
Come
You need a
on.
bit of fight talk
Yeah.
to get it all going up.
Yeah,
there.
and no one brought up anyone else's mum, which is
Yeah.
classic
Oh,
yeah.
trash
That's
talk.
where we. That's where
And
we.
you draw the
Yeah.
line there.
Yeah,
Too
yeah, that's
far.
where the line just
My mum
gets-
was a
We
saint,
don't
leave her
talk about
alone.
mothers.
So a bit of unnecessary tension there.
Just a little bit.
But
just a
I
little bit.
genuinely think this group of people could argue with each other if they were in separate quarantined rooms.
I actually feel like Nicole was coming with don't come for my relationship energy
Yeah.
because we're near the
Yeah.
end. Like, I don't want any cracks because
Yeah.
you know she's sensitive about that. So maybe she's like, don't try and get into my head.
Yeah.
So I get it. I would be like that,
Yeah,
maybe.
and I don't
to be
blame her
honest.
because
yeah.
there's been a lot of people coming for each other
Yeah.
and their relationships of recent times.
Yeah.
And that was a very sensitive topic for Nicole at the time. But so as soon as she hears, oh, your boyfriend cheated, she ain't thinking about no game. She's thinking
Yeah.
about the actual time
Yeah,
when
that's the
Kieran
thing.
told her, I slept with 122
100%.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she's like, oh, you're bringing it up again. It's just sort
Yeah.
of like reopening a wound.
It's like the thing we were saying the other day, like when you're talking to somebody and you bring something up that like jars them,
Yeah.
they're not even concentrating on what
Yeah.
you're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Their brains has gone off on a full-blown tangent.
Totally.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened.
The girls did say that Nicole is one of the most competitive people they've ever met. I didn't see it.
I didn't
too.
see that.
It was quite
I didn't see that.
normal. I mean, what do we think? Is someone being competitive attractive or is it a bit like, oh, calm down too much?
Oh my God, it's so hot.
It is.
Yeah, I love a bit of competition, like going on a date, going bowling. Like bowling
yes.
is my
Yes.
game of choice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you can
Do you
like
do sides up or sides down?
sides down.
Sides down.
Yeah,
no.
sorry, I just
oh,
had to
she's
think
a
about
pro.
that.
You've got your own bowling ball.
No, I've not got my own
but
bowling
she's not
ball.
professional.
Right, you
No,
like it. but
no,
it's
I'm not
a hobby.
like proper
Yeah, it's
into
not
it.
a
Like
hobby.
Right, okay,
just like on a
checking.
date or whatever, and then you like walk up into the bit. You know what I mean? Put your hands in the holes.
Oh, it's quite sexy.
And
yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like shake your little bum. You know, and then
Yeah.
you. It's just hard.
But is it not pure ick when the boy gets a strike and walks back from it?
Oh, that's the shit. I
is
find
the
it not even,
worst.
I
That's
don't
dread.
find watching it, I find doing it. So when it's my turn to go and get the ball, I want to surf to the end and just let the little thing swallow me up. Because like when I pick up the
You
ball
wanna
and I'm
throw yourself
walking-
down the
Yeah, I want to
gutter?
throw myself
Right.
down the aisle. Because like I'm
Give you the
walking
bowling ball.
and now I've got the ball in my hand and I can just feel eyes at the back of my
Yeah.
head because everyone is now watching me. And then what usually happens? I go and throw the ball and it goes right down the side. And then I walk back and I'm absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Every
I
time.
think walking back from a gutter ball is slightly worse than walking back from a strike as well.
Yeah, it's quite an intense game.
It's a
It
good
is.
point. I think it's slightly different for blokes though. Like I will happily compete with a girl. If we play Monopoly or whatever, it's going to get savage and I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Like it depends what you're competing about. If like I'm eating spaghetti and then you clock my eye and then you're steadily eating your spaghetti faster and then it's like back and it becomes a competition. I don't want to eat all my meals like that, indigestion. Although sometimes I do think when I'm with a girl, like, please hurry up eating. It's very slow.
Yeah,
so
I'm
that would be
so
great
bitter.
in that situation. But it depends what you're competing on, really. If it's actual
I think
compatible
sports is
things.
the- is
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
fun.
You've
Yeah,
got to
I
have
think
a bit of tension. I mean, we were saying this before, like if you're in a relationship with somebody for a long period of time and you haven't had one argument, that is weird.
Yeah,
You know, you resolve, you grow closer,
totally.
and then you move forward.
I love a good argument though, especially
Yeah.
like in the back of a taxi. You know, like after, I don't know, like a night out.
You're
and
literally giving the
fuming.
driver a TED talk.
Yeah, the
Oh,
driver's
yeah, yeah,
engaged.
yeah.
He's, you know he's listening.
He's
isn't it?
listening.
Yeah,
I'd be
he's
trying to do
listening.
it in hushed tones, but they're still going to hear me. Oh, we do go off on a tangent, don't we?
We do. Now it's time once again to celebrate the latest and greatest me moments from the Billa with Sky Mobile. The moments where our islanders have put themselves and their needs first. In at number 3, obsessing over Jessica telling Io exactly what she wants.
I want you to say I love you so much.
Oh my God!
I want you to say
What
I
do you
love you
want
so
from
much,
me?
Jess. I'm so happy you're here.
Why do you-
Obsessed with you. That's
Oh,
what
is
you need
it?
to. When you say I'm obsessed with you.
Coming in at number 2, look, if you are looking for a boy from Essex, you're in the right place.
Can't lie, I love an Essex boy.
Do you?
Yeah, I love an Essex boy. Couldn't be
Wow.
more than you.
Can't get any more Essex than
Doesn't
me.
get any more Essex than you.
Finally, in at number 1 is Kieran. If the surveying doesn't work out, he's definitely got a future in speech making.
It's something I've wanted to do for a while. I thought it was going to be just me and you, but I can't wait any longer. Everything you said is exactly how I feel. And I don't want to wait to start the new chapter outside the villa. I want to start it now with you because these past, well, since Casa, it's been perfect. So, Nicole, do you want to be my girlfriend?
Embrace your me energy with a network that lets you change your data plan to suit you. Text PAC to 65075 to switch to Sky Mobile today. 12-month data plan required. For terms, see sky.com/mobile. So we had Matilda and Sean.
Yes.
And they shared a very nice, I'd say, intimate moment in bed.
Was it nice?
Yeah, it was
it
cute.
awkward?
Yeah, it was a bit one-sided, but hey.
Little bit.
Sean did say in bed, I love you, Matilda, and I feel like we're heading in that direction.
Yeah.
To which Matilda then turned around and said, I feel like that. And then
I
Sean
would
said,
be livid.
good, that's actually reassuring. Now, is it reassuring?
I wish he just stood
Go on,
on
Jackie.
business and just said, I love you, Matilda.
And just kept it that
And
way.
kept it like that. Because he almost like rejected himself.
Preemptive
and
rejection.
Yeah. Then she's like, I feel like that. Like, just say what you mean.
Yeah.
But equally, I don't know, maybe if she's ready to say, I love you too.
It's a big deal.
She's not
Yeah,
there.
I don't
If
think she's
you're not
ready.
you can't say it.
Yeah.
You know what
I feel like boys tend to feel that before girls.
I mean? Really?
Yeah, they do feel it because like our genetic makeup, if we're going to get scientific about it, is very much like the physical thing. So we fall in love with the physical thing a lot sooner, whereas girls fall in love with like the emotional side of things and like the connection and stuff. So that comes later down the line. But I think scientifically
I
speaking,
didn't know that.
I am not a scientist by any stretch. But I think scientifically speaking, boys fall in love before girls do.
I always thought girls did.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. Maybe boys
We
might
just
say
hold
it.
out on saying
Yeah,
it. do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
right. Okay, yeah.
We're
bottle
just
up their
pushing our feelings down.
Yeah, but then how can you love me if you're pushing your feelings down?
I feel like with the preemptive rejection thing, I'm a pro at this. I've done it my
Okay.
entire life. It's the best way to get out of a potentially awkward situation. Can we ask Sean, are you in love with Matilda or do you feel like you're heading towards love? I feel like he said that because he knows that she's not there yet.
Yeah.
But he's kind of okay with that.
Fair, but I still feel like you can actually say you love someone. Like I can say I love you, but not be in love with you. There's love you, there's I love you, and then there's I'm in love with you. They are three different things, in my opinion.
But I
Literally
feel
not
like
even
tone
saying-
and environment is important because he's saying that in bed.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like if you're saying it like, I don't know, like on a park bench, like I love you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
different.
yeah.
When you're in
It's
bed, it's all
more lighthearted.
intimate. So it's like deep.
It's locked in.
So can you confirm, is Sean saying he is in love with Matilda?
No,
Or
he's
he
just
has
saying-
feelings of love towards her?
He's just saying I love you. He loves her a lot.
Oh my God, there's
I feel
another
like he's-
level that I
do you know
didn't
what?
existed.
Which is good enough.
I feel like he's in love with her, you know?
I love you is good, but like in love means like you're absolutely besotted with that person. Like you are like, it's giving vows. Like I am in love with you.
Because it's so intense to say like I'm in love with you.
Yeah, that is a bit
That
scary.
maybe he like was like, if I say I love you, it's almost like
Yeah.
diet
Yeah,
love. Like
diet
almost
love.
like, yeah, like a lighter version.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
Diet
Because
Cola,
I do,
nice.
because I do feel like he's like more into her than she's into him.
Yeah.
But also, I just feel like he also said that because he is scared of rejection and also like doesn't want to lose her. I do feel like he's in love with her.
Maybe, yeah.
Just the way he is. But I guess I don't know how she feels.
I
But
feel like at that stage, someone said, I'm in love with you in bed. I would go to the beach hut and I'd be like, help.
it's giving marriage and
It is
babies
deep,
like
but
tomorrow.
It means a lot.
Literally just fully added like a whole nother layer of
only one
complications.
more.
There's already 6. We're talking seeing each other, exclusive,
Oh, yeah.
non-exclusive, in a relationship, engaged, wed, in
It's a
love,
lot.
near love,
Hey,
around
ho.
love, adjacent to love. I don't know what's going on at this stage.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was, but apparently there's layers to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, from one end of the spectrum to the other, let's talk about the potential dumpings.
Yes, that's not love at all.
That's the opposite of love.
So we had the vote last night for the 2 least compatible couples. And just to refresh our minds, the couples that were vulnerable, we had Joey and Jessie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had Io and Jess.
Yeah.
We had Sean and Matilda. And we had Josh and Mimi. So everybody but Nicole and Kieran.
Yeah. Did we see coming?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Do we think they are the most compatible though?
Oh, it's tough, you know, because I never like to go for like, the easy couple just because they're in a relationship. But however, they are in a relationship. So that does kind of give them, in my opinion, a little bit like of like quick community.
And he spent 35 euros on her with that necklace.
Yeah, they've done a lot.
€35.
They've done a lot to prove to us their love.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
theory though, they could be in a relationship and still be incompatible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, true.
They have the most arguments. But I don't think arguments
But
are a bad
it's
thing.
bickery though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not
Bickery.
full blown.
Yes.
It's not half-mast.
But I do feel like
It's a
there was
semi-argument.
But I do feel like there was a point in time where Nicole and Kieran's arguments could have been confused with incompatibility because they never seemed to be on the same page with these arguments. It was
Right.
very like someone feels this way to an extreme and the other person just feels maybe this way.
Do you think if they'd had less bickers and arguments, people would be pointing at them now and going, you're incompatible because they
No,
haven't
absolutely
had
not.
it. But it works the other way though.
No. I think it generally depends on like the type of argument and what they're actually arguing about.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're arguing about like your favourite cupboard biscuit, fine. But if you're arguing about how many people one of you's had sex with, not so fine.
But do you know what? I don't even think that's incompatibility. I feel like incompatibility comes from when you are...
We should define the term.
We actually do have the Oxford Dictionary term for the word compatible.
She's doing her own work.
Yes, and it is able to exist or occur together without problems or conflict.
Interesting.
May I just say that's not true?
Okay.
Okay.
I actually disagree with that statement because I feel like two people can live and occur with problems and conflict and still be getting along.
The Oxford Dictionary is often wrong. I look at it and I think, no, that's just not what that word means.
But then I guess where incompatibility comes is where you start disagreeing with like somebody else's actual character.
Values.
When the
And
values are
values.
disaligned.
That's when it starts
it's all
becoming
about the
incompatibility.
values.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in a relationship, we're not supposed to be the same. I have a different mum and dad. So do you. We should both like different things. We're different people.
Yeah.
But when I start actually not appreciating your characteristics and the way you live your life and your morals and stuff like that, that's when it becomes a bit...
Yeah. And also like what you both want, because if someone's like, oh, I want to get married, and then your partner's like,
Yeah.
I never want to get married,
Yeah.
then it's like, even if you get along so well, you're incompatible. And it's
And I
just
think
some of those
I think
things.
that's the difference between like friends and like relationships.
Yeah.
Because I can be like incompatible with my friend in the sense that we don't have the same morals, but
Yeah.
I still like you as a person. That's
Yeah.
why you're my friend.
Yeah.
However, if I
Yeah.
don't have the same morals as my boyfriend, we're not getting married, mate.
Yeah.
Like, because it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've only got one moral.
Yeah,
What's
is
that moral?
Can't tell you.
Oh, God.
Okay, if memory serves, it looked like
Mm.
Josh chose Io and Jess as least compatible, as one of his options.
Uh-huh.
What do we think of that? Like, first of all, are they incompatible? And second of all, was there ulterior motives there? It's a double barrel question.
Yeah. I was really surprised by that because Josh has obviously said like, Io's one of my boys.
Yeah.
And some of the people that have come out of the villa have said that Io and Jess are like super compatible,
Yeah.
like even more so being out there and seeing them do that. So to see Josh do that, I'm really surprised.
Yeah.
But I wonder whether maybe he's just trying to knock out his competition.
Yeah,
Could be
I-
that. It's game time.
I
you
would
know?
even go as far to say Josh and Mimi and Io and Jess are the most compatible couples in there.
Yeah.
Because
I'd
I
agree,
feel
yeah.
like both of them collectively, they've done Cash for More. They have separated, but they're now in new relationships that they are
the journey's
thriving
been
in.
insane.
Yeah.
Like Jess and Io, house on fire. Mimi and Josh, house on fire.
Yeah, do you know what it could be? Like, obviously, we've heard that like Io and Josh respect each other.
Yeah.
But maybe they're just not boys like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's mutual respect for the situations that they've been put in and what they've gone through together. But maybe like they know the situation from before.
Yeah.
They just can't be mates. So maybe they're not as close as before. Or Josh is looking at them in terms of like Io is very laid back and Jess is probably quite the opposite. Quite an
Duracell
extrovert,
bunny.
and
Yeah.
Io comes across as a bit of an introvert sometimes,
Yeah.
right? So maybe that's the
Fair
level
play.
of incompatibility.
Yeah.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
Because from what we've seen of Josh and Io's friendship, it's gone from being a bit of like awkward to blossoming into quite a little bit of a friendship. Josh doesn't strike me as the kind of person that is going to pick someone based on like, oh, just because you used to go out with my ex or whatever. So I agree with that. He would probably dissect it and maybe go into why. And I would hope that he isn't just picking Io because of what had happened in Casa
Yeah, because I'm just thinking
They've
actually.
grown and
yeah,
she's friends.
and the other night, remember when Josh was having that conversation with Sean, and then Joey
Yeah.
came over, and then
Io
Io came
and
over, and almost
defended
like
him.
and then so it's a bit like,
Yeah.
whoa, Josh, like what's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah, I hear you.
So yeah, I do really wonder like why, but maybe he really does have a good reason for it.
Do you know what makes me laugh about this whole situation is afterwards they go and sit with the people they've voted for. And like, love you, bro. Hand slaps and all that kind of stuff. So awkward.
Well, amongst Josh and Mimi's conversation, we did see Mimi give her opinion on Jessie and Joey's compatibility.
Yeah.
And she did mention that, you know what, liking someone doesn't mean that you guys are compatible. And
No.
that was obviously
Yeah.
in reference to Jessie liking Joey.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, been there, park the Ferrari. Yeah, I'm sure we've all been with someone.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God. But then actually when you think about like your values, your morals,
Yeah.
like, can you imagine like bringing this person home to meet your parents? Or like Like all this stuff, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
But you fancy them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a lust thing. But I feel like if you like somebody and they don't like you back, that is the ultimate definitive answer of incompatibility.
Yeah.
If it's very one-sided,
Yeah.
you are not compatible.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's just like wrong place, wrong time or whatever it is, like they're not in the mood for it. I don't know, they don't want a relationship.
Yeah.
That is not compatibility.
Yeah.
It's the opposite.
Well.
Well, I guess we're going to find out on Sunday because all of the Islanders are queuing up to come back in. Very excited about that.
Yes.
The next time you're going to see us is on After Sun in Mallorca. It's all very exciting.
So jealous, guys.
Yeah. Well, you'll be there in
babe.
spirit.
I will.
Yes. And do you know what, guys? Just like everyone else in the villa, I think we should give ourselves a pat on the back.
I agree.
Let's do it.